What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pleeka. I'm Jerome.
And I'm Nick.
And today we're talking about True Detective Season 3, Episode 7, The Last Country. This was a pretty good episode. I'm glad we got the introduction of Hoyt / Michael Wicker.
Yeah, I wanted to see him.
Yeah, I did too. I figured they were going to be pricks. They love to do that in this goddamn show, being like, here, let's tease you with a little bit at the end. So what do you think is good? I just want to start there. You know, we don't go through the episode how you probably should. What do you think is going on there? Do you think he's going to tell him, being like, hey, you know, I'm going to tell that you killed James, what's his name? Harris James?
Yeah.
Whatever. That you killed him and all that. If you don't stop investigating me, or...
Yeah, I think he's going to threaten him and say that...
Because he knew a lot of information about him.
I don't think he's going to tell the police. I think he's going to threaten his family.
I think it might be a mixture of both. Because he even said, oh, should I go down to... police station with this?
Yeah.
So I think it could be like a blow up of everything. Like, I'll threaten your family and your career and all that.
Yeah, and I think that's how it gets shut down. And I mean, that's why Wayne doesn't go any further in 90.
And then he just forgets that he was threatened.
And then he must tell his wife, and she stops writing that second book.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only thing that would make her not.
I felt like, so this episode, like, a lot happened, but, like, Tom killed himself, and then...
Well, Tom killed himself.
Well, sorry, yeah. Yeah. Tom got killed. They blamed it on his suicide.
I like how they went as far as to type his suicide note.
Yeah, what the hell? That was dumb.
And no one questioned it, really.
Well, Wayne did.
Well, yeah, but, like, no one else.
Yeah.
Was like,
including the district attorney.
Yeah, it could be part of the cover-up.
Is it just me, or is he, like, every time there's something, he's like, nope, it's all done now, every time?
He is, but I still feel like it's like a
he's
making a murder thing where he's just like sick of this case, and he's one, and because he mentioned that it gives the town a bad rep.
Yeah.
I think it's that. I don't, but then he could be involved in it. But
You don't think he's in Hoyt's pocket?
Definitely could be. It's definitely a possibility. But I think it's also a possibility that he's.
I think it's a possibility that he's stupid too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they basically pull over Harris James and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, that scene went down exactly how I expected it to.
Hey, not me.
Like you mentioned that on because he was like, he kept talking. He's like, oh, I can feel it punctured my lungs, and he's like, how hard did you kick him? And then he started handcuffing. I was like, he's just gonna hit you when you unhandcuff him.
Well, it's funny because like he was saying all that, and I was like, if this goddamn guy dies, you're not gonna know any of this shit.
Yeah.
And I thought when he said, how hard did you kick him? I was like, oh my god, so he's gonna die right here.
Mm-hmm. And they won't know anything.
This is their big cover up. I knew he was gonna die because he disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Although he didn't disappear that far. Someone's gonna find that shit eventually. I've
maybe.
seen too many movies.
In True Detective Season 5.
So but then he ended his handcuffs, and I was like, oh, I don't know if that's a good idea. But it was too late. I didn't think he would try to grab him.
And then Rowland shot him.
Yeah, I didn't think it'd be Rowland that killed him either.
I really like the stuff they did with his memories this episode too.
Or he just in
the beginning, we got a new timeline. It's at some point in the 2000s, the new timeline with him and his daughter. Like he turned the mirror and like he was like all of a sudden was back in the 90s and whatnot. And then like when he was hanging out with Rowland in the future, then all of a sudden he was like in there, like after they're talking to that lady, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I used Tom against you to make you go do that. Like I forced you." And then like he kept kind of going back in there and stuff. It was really good how they used that this episode.
They used it a lot this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from the get go. And there was a fourth timeline this episode.
Yeah, I did. That's the one in the beginning. So we got to see his daughter older finally. She's going into college.
Yeah.
But we didn't really get to see why she's not involved later on, like why she doesn't want to be a part of it.
Maybe she just doesn't want to be in that stupid little town.
So we do usually watch that after show right after the episode. And they mentioned there's a theory on Reddit that his, kind of like that girl Isabel that they're talking about that's like in the Hoyt family and all that, never left her house because her husband and kid got killed and all that. Do you think maybe he got in a car accident and she died and that's what messed up his head and all that, and no one wants to remind him of that? Or do you think she's just mad at him?
I don't even think she's mad at him. I just think
you think you just moved on and like made a career or something?
Yeah.
I could see that, yeah. I like that interesting. It's like interesting, but I don't feel like the next episode with everything else they have to unveil, that would be as important to do.
They have a lot
because
of
that really wouldn't have much to do with the case.
Right.
So I don't. But that is an interesting theory.
What I think is, so we found out that Isabel is apparently a little crazy.
Yeah.
And so apparently, is his name Watts or is it whatever Uncle June, whatever
Yeah.
it was? So he apparently it had to be them going around in the beginning, right? In 80? Yeah, well they said they saw a black man with one eye and a white lady.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, they took Julie. I don't know why they killed.
Yeah,
boy.
that every time like there's like an answer of why they would take Julie, I feel like there's no answer yet of anything why they would kill him, except for being like we only need a girl and he's a witness, just get rid of him.
Yeah, and like,
And then they just they drug her and lied to her about it maybe.
Unless like they unless it's two different crimes.
Oh, you think like not involved with each other at all?
I mean, I doubt it, but that would be the only other way. You know what I mean?
That would be interesting.
And it could just be like everyone thought it was this way, but it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they never came back to that.
Especially with like stuff being planted in the case with Julie and all that. Like people planting stuff could have fucked up what happened to him and it just mixed up. And I could see that.
But I was more. Remember, she said she had to see an aunt.
Yeah.
And so that could be her. And I kind of feel like Hoyt just built this fake place for them to then bring Julie in.
Yeah, that's what it kind of seems like.
And then I think the dude with one eye is actually looking for her to bring her back because he's almost like a father figure.
Yeah, like it's been so long, he does see her as a daughter and all that.
And trying to help Isabella because she's probably like, where the hell did she go?
Yeah, I could see that.
And maybe they do this other shit, and they were just like, "Hey, we'll keep this one." I don't know, but that's the way I see it going down a little bit.
Do you think at this point it is gonna? Because they mentioned like there's other like sex cults with like season 1. They show the other dolls and all that. Do you think it's gonna be like a bigger conspiracy, or do you think that they were just showing that like it's related and to kind of say it's the same universe now?
I think they were just doing it to say it's in the same universe.
That's what I kind of figured too.
But I hope that's something
else. It would be really cool for it to be a bigger thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like also like with that too, one episode isn't enough to connect a whole another season. Because other than that photo and like it being a similar crime, there's not much connecting it.
I hope that when Wayne looks out his window and sees that car, that like
you look into Woody Harrelson driving.
Yes.
That scene was pretty cool. So like we got last week, he asked him and he was like, "Hey, you see the car outside?" And he's like, "No, you fucking loony."
Yeah.
But then this time he looked and they're like, "Oh fuck, it's there." So then like they did a little.
Did you expect it to be there? I didn't.
No, I thought he was losing his mind again.
Yeah.
I like that they tricked us. But then it was cool. He goes outside with the bat and all that. And he's like, "Oh, you looking for me?" And the guy drives off, and then all of a sudden you see Rowland in the background taking a picture and all that. That was really cool.
Yeah, I wanted to either be Woody Harrelson or Matthew McConaughey. Is that too much to ask?
So like, do you?
I don't know why.
Because it's not gonna be that.
No, it's not.
But do you think that's like Hoyt keeping tabs on him?
No, because Hoyt's dead. Remember?
Oh yeah,
he probably has a kid.
Well, the next person in line of his business, whatever.
Like, why do you have to keep tabs on a 7-year-old guy? Like, what's he gonna do?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I just don't know. I don't know who else would want to watch him.
Who's around that cares about this case anymore except him?
Eliza.
Yeah, but she's not part of it. She's looking into it.
What do you think? Why do you think she's looking into it? Do you think it's just because like she really wants to solve the case and she's like kind of fixated on it, or do you think
trying to uncover a
big
thing so she can make a name for herself?
No, you think so? Kind of like how in the same way where his wife was trying to solve the case, but also to write her book.
Yeah,
same kind of way. I can see that because there is very big similarities to that.
Yeah.
Do you think anything else is gonna come of Eliza and can't think of his name, but his son dating?
It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, that almost could have not happened and it would have been fine.
Yeah, totally. I mean, maybe something comes of it next, but it doesn't even seem like either one of them give a shit.
Yeah, they almost never talk. Actually, have we ever seen them talk except for him being like, "Hey, no, that's enough," and get his dad out of there?
Yeah, like 2 episodes ago, they kind of argue for a second. He's, "That's it. That's fine."
Yeah, but like other than that, not really.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested if anything comes of that. That was just something they kind of threw in there to like have some more lore in the world.
Yeah, I don't know.
I really liked tonight's episode, and then I thought it was pretty funny in the next one, where the last scene in the next one is this, "Let me find out," and stuff like something like that, and I was like, yeah, it's fucking me. Like, I just want to know what happened.
I think that's what he said. I think he said, "Tell me what happened."
Yeah, tell me what happened. Or,
Yeah.
I just want to know.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting. I also realized that it's on opposite the Oscars next week, so it looks like I'm not watching the Oscars.
Yeah.
'Cause there's no way I'm not watching this.
So do you think there's a chance that this could be a disappointing ending?
There's a little chance. Because they
They have a lot to explain to us still.
I mean, they do, but they don't. Like, it could easily just be like what we just said, and then like, oh yeah, this kid got in the way, we killed him, we doing all this. Whatever, we lure in with these dolls, whatever.
Yeah.
It may not be the ending we want necessarily, but they could wrap it up. But they do have I think there's a bigger chance they hit a home run than it is
Than
that
a
they
miss?
fuck it up. Yeah.
I'm really interested. A lot. They showed a lot, but also nothing in the next on. But I was really interested in the scene of Wayne and Rowland going into the pink room from the 2015 timeline,
Oh yeah.
which makes me think, oh fuck, they're not gonna find it till then. It still makes me laugh. Those two old men walking around doing shit.
Yeah, like, how do they still have badges?
I thought they were lying to that girl. I don't know.
Yeah, they're like, but they were wearing them.
Well, because like he had to ask his son for all the information. So you think
Yeah.
if they really were, he could get it himself.
It
But
was-
yeah, I don't know.
It's just funny. It's like they're just, I don't know. It's almost like Matlock or something.
Yeah, it's very odd. But I really enjoyed tonight's episode, and I can't wait till next week because I just want to know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, totally.
And I really want to see Michael Rooker talking to Mahershala Ali.
See, Michael Rooker can play such a crazy nutbag.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how.
When I saw on Twitter that he was cast in the role, I was like, oh, that's fucking perfect. Like, I don't
Yeah.
even know who Hoyt is really. And I just
Yeah.
hearing that, you're like, oh, that's good.
Oh, just this phone call, he's like, "Do you know who this is?" And we both go, "I do."
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah, I loved how he knew everything about the family, and like he's like, oh, your wife, the author, and like he knew the children's names and all that.
it struck me. How does he know about Harris James?
Yeah, and he knew. He's like, we could talk about Harris James and what went down last night. Like, it's like, oh fuck, he like was he watching through binoculars what happened? Like,
Well, like, he probably knows that they came and talked to him the day before, and then he disappears. So maybe he's just like guessing, but he didn't seem like he was guessing.
yeah, he seemed like he knew exactly what went
Yeah.
down and everything, which is pretty interesting.
He also didn't seem like he really cared. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, like he's like it, like you guys did it, but it's not gonna hurt me at all,
Yeah.
which it clearly doesn't really.
Yeah.
But anything else you want to say about tonight's episode?
I think if Mahershala Ali doesn't win an Emmy next year,
Yeah, I think he deserves even just alone the 2015 timeline of himself. I think he definitely deserves
because
it.
it's like he's three different people.
Yeah, it's
At least two different people.
yeah, because the 80s and 90s are pretty close.
Pretty
but there is
similar.
even a little difference in there.
Yeah, there is.
There's even like a slight difference in the new timeline we got this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's very good in this.
And Rowland should be nominated too. I totally spaced his name, but
Yeah, I like him too.
he's been good. But I mean, it's just unbelievable how good Mahershala Ali is.
Yeah, it's funny. He actually ruined Arrow for me because they're doing flash forwards in Arrow as well, and all those actors,
it's
you
not-
watch this, and then literally the next day we watch Arrow, and you're like, wow, fuck, they suck.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Like it really ruins that show for me.
No, it's bad.
But all right, that's it for this True Detective review. Comment down below your thoughts on this episode, and we'll see you guys next week for the finale of True Detective Season 3.